Let's jump over to Wokeness in Media. We have this tweet from Nathan Grayson over the Washington Post, who says he is a video game reporter. I suppose that means that he will provide us information reporting on video games.
Oh.
However, he tweeted, and before I get into it, Nathan, buddy, you made it. Congratulations. Here's what you were hoping for. You are now getting talked about. He says, Shannon Liao and I reached out to over 20 major video game companies about whether they intend to speak up in favor of reproductive rights or provide monetary aid to employees. Just a few said yes. Most said nothing at all. This is literally the Wendy's meme. This is a Wendy's. This is a Wendy's, sir.
Yeah.
It's like this, bro. I would love to see this guy like pull up to a Wendy's and they're like, "Welcome to Wendy's. Can I take your order? Do you support reproductive rights, sir? This is a Wendy's. I'll take that as a no." Then you write it down.
They're not that far from that point. Like we are going to see, we're going to see articles from journalists like, "I went to the Wendy's on 2nd Street and they would not give a strong stance in favor of reproductive rights."
We should legit do this.
That's a good skit.
Let's go to Wendy's just for the purpose of being like, "Do you support women's reproductive rights?" And the guy's going to be like, "I'm 16 and I just make cheeseburgers."
He's like, excuse me, how does Super Mario feel about Roe v. Wade being overturned?
He actually includes that comment in there. So he has this big Twitter thread.
Oh my
and it's fascinating too. Let me say something on the culture wars. This guy likes the fact that we're talking about it. He doesn't care about us. He doesn't care that he's not reporting. This is the future of what these media companies will be. The Washington Post has become Kotaku. This, just Gamergate, leftist woke media. And it works for them. And they're going to get the people who care about it, the people who don't like right-wingers or whatever. And so he doesn't care what we say about him. Like, do you think I care when they write about me or whatever? I ignore all of it. I don't care. Like, people are chatting and smack-talking me, and I'm like, I don't know, I can only read so much. This guy doesn't care. He's getting attention. It's working for him. And this is what the culture war has become. So he goes on to mention that Bungie says they're for it, blah, blah, blah. And then he starts talking about people are suddenly losing their minds over this piece. So let me spell out the rationale behind it. Game companies were extremely vocal following George Floyd's murder. COVID-born anti-Asian hate. Silence here is telling. It suggests broader disingenuousness.
I'm sorry. I started laughing while I was drinking. What a ridiculous thing. Is it firstly to want these companies to comment on it in the first place, but secondarily, does he think that these companies just became right wing?
Yes.
They started becoming conservative. Like, well, look, this is one where we really are more conservative.
He quote tweeted Ben Shapiro, who said, in which activists masquerading as journalists call up companies and ask why Taylor Swift's silence is so deafening.
He says LOL.
LOL.
Yeah,
he likes it.
Press, yeah.
He says, if Fox decides to do a segment on me, my one request is that they use this picture. And this is the point. This guy's not a reporter. He is an activist. His reporting makes literally no sense. I mean, it's the Wendy's meme. Am I gonna say, well, Wendy's once had an LGBTQ Twitter icon. They have not said anything about abortion. It's deafening.
Like when all the companies were putting their profile pictures black for after George Floyd, and then if a company wouldn't do that, everybody lost their minds. But I feel like it's the same thing as Taylor Lorenz is bad, sort of like bad intention disguised as journalism, where she was like, the reason why I had to expose the libs of TikTok girl is because she could have been a Russian asset. Okay, well, you found out she wasn't a Russian asset and you still exposed her. So it's like, the reason why I'm doing this with the video games is because they did that. And so they're always going to find an excuse to their bad journalism or activism or whatever. But it's like, shut up already.
That's fair. Well, can we be sure Sonic the Hedgehog isn't a Russian asset?
You can't be sure.
Yeah. So if you look just to the right on Twitter, you have gaming trending. Blizzard announces King's Diversity Space Tool, a measurement device to help identify how diverse a set of character traits are, which is planned to be released internally starting this summer. Here's what's going to happen.
Oh, gosh.
It is meme come to life. The next AAA game that comes out, every character is going to be a trans, disabled, furry.
Please, no.
No, it's going to happen.
I noticed that a
person
few
of color
new games where they where instead when you pick your gender instead of man or woman, now you can pick
type 1, type 2,
other things.
In Elden Ring, it says type A, type B or something.
Like type 1, type 2, like you're choosing your character's form of diabetes?
No, I thought this was funny. I called them sexist. I tweeted about it. I was like, Elden Ring is sexist because the female body type is number 2.
What?
It should have been type 1 and type A.
That's right. Seriously, female. I mean, it's called male or female. Woman. You have man or woman. Like,
That
why do they get
proves
the
it.
secondary? Why do
go.
they have to add on extra
Patriarchy,
letters to
baby.
describe it?
That reminds me of that J.K. Rowling stuff where she was always like, nobody asked her anything, and she was like, Dumbledore was gay.
Okay, yeah,
Like-
that's that meme.
So
Why? Why do I care that if Sonic is having something with tails? Like, stop it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to think about it.
So Ian, I will give you a linguistic lesson.
Thank you.
Woman comes from Withman, the original. I think it's Old English. I'm not sure. And it used to be males were wermen, and so there were two distinct words, wermen and Withman. And then due to, I think what they said was the work role being masculine, men just started saying men instead of wermen, because if they would say man in reference to a human being in general, but only men were around, men just eventually became the default for male or whatever.
The other night I was thinking, I think the word woman needs a new word because it
Womixing,
may have
come
come.
Birthing person.
No,
Yeah,
something
we have one. Yeah.
simple,
Bleeder.
one
Yeah.
syllable, like
Bleeder.
man.
There
like
you go.
Something that can something that can compete with man that
Menstruator.
isn't like an extra aberration of the word man, like
Menstruator.
blah man. Just like a new word that sounds cool.
Bleeder. Sounds metal.
You know what's crazy
Flib.
though?
Flib? I
Yeah,
like
you're
flib.
on. You're thinking in the right
Yeah.
space.
I see it everywhere. Like, so I'm originally from Brazil. I lived there for 20 years of my life. So whenever people say Latinx, it hurts me a little bit. I get the eye twitch because
Yeah.
in Latin languages, the male version is also the, I guess, unisex version of a word. So whenever you're referring to somebody that you don't necessarily know their gender,
Male,
you would
yeah.
use the male form. So it hurts me. It hurts me.
I'm sorry.
Well, I understand that as a flib, you may be more prone to
Yeah,
find
exactly.
true, yeah.
It might,
It's
it
a
might
problem.
upset
I
you.
understand.
Well, and it's not, is it like what? Did the left go into the Latino community and ask, do you guys want a new name? No, they just decided to name them because they think they have ownership over the entire group of people, because that's what renaming someone or something means. It means you own them. And they see them as political pawns, not as human beings, and they're political pawns who belong to them in their estimation. So that's why they get to decide what they're called.
This is
that's
why-
everyone has to resist the term.
This is why I said, like it was a year ago, that the gender neutral pronoun for everyone is florbo.
I like that. Yeah.
It's
Flib,
soft.
florbo.
It reminds me of
Nice.
Flubber with that Robin Williams.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It's a cute
Childhood
movie.
memories. Nobody can complain about that.
Well, there's
right?
an O at the end. That's too masculine. Just
Florb.
florb. Yeah.
It's too masculine.
Florb.
Florbix.
Florba. and
Florba.
Florbacks. Yeah,
Florbeck.
Florbacks. That's right.
Yes.
Wimixin.
It's I was looking up non-binary in Spanish, and it's no binaria and no binario.
Yeah,
You
so-
know, there's a binary way to
genders,
say
yeah.
no non-binary, of course.
I like
Yeah.
that.
I just
It's
don't get it.
ironic.
It's insane. I wish they would stop that, but they don't. So it's like we already have a word for that. We already have a way of saying it. Why don't you just ask us instead of pushing it? Like, who came up with this?
Well, they did. They conducted studies and they asked people. They're like, "Do you like the term Latinx, Latinx,
Wimixin.
or whatever it is? Wimixin." Well, they should ask women what they think of the word Wimixin because everyone hates it. No one's going to use it.
Nobody asked me any of
Exactly.
that. Like this polls and stuff like that. Everybody's like, oh, nobody asked me. Nobody ever called me and asked me, do you want this? Do you like it's? I've never been asked about a poll.
Listen, you need to understand that the being a morbidly obese millennial woman with pink hair and the side of your head shaved grants you a kind of intelligence that you just know what's better for the oppressed people.
It's the color of the hair. It makes kids want to listen to them because they like bright colors.
Yeah, actually, maybe. Yeah.
Brainwashing.
Yeah.
It is crazy how you see this stuff in schools where it's like they're like, what gender are you? And cisgender is black and white. And then it's like, trans is a bunch of colors, and it's like pride and rainbows. And they're like, if you want to be fine, if you want to be the boring black and white color, it's fine.
By the way, I want to bring something really fun up here that validates everything we're saying. So fantastic. But according to Pew Research, 76% of Latinos surveyed had never heard the term
Yes.
Latinx. Of those who heard it in totality, so of the 100% of people who were asked if they had heard the term, only 3% said that they used it. 20% said they knew it and didn't use it. 76% said they never heard it.
Did they break
not
it down
popular.
between men and flibs?
I can double check. I can double check on that.
I think-
but it doesn't appear so.
I believe they did break it down a little bit, maybe in another poll where it showed that college-educated women were the only group that liked it and they used it. And I was like, this is in no way surprising.
I heard
College-educated flib.
Yeah, flip. Sorry.
Yeah,
Oh, you're right.
Well,
Oh my
flib has
gosh.
the word lib, and you gotta be careful. But we'll figure
Yeah.
it out.
That's a
Yes,
good point.
female liberal.
Oh, is that what it
There
means?
you go. Yeah.
I heard Latinx.
Flibia, calm down.
Is it
I like
Latinx
that. I love that.
or is it Latinx or Latinx?
Who knows?
Anyone know?
They-
Latinx sounds weird. Like
Yeah.
It
Latinx
does.
sounds inks like I don't know, like
Latinx.
Inking.
That's what I thought. Like it
I
reminds like
don't know.
Kleenex.
Tink, like
Yeah.
tinkle.
Like,
Tinkle?
So yeah, tinkleless, tinklelix. I heard
If
of
people if people demand you give them a special name that they demand to be called, like just make up one that doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I won't use the one that offends you, but I'll choose one for you. Like, Blof.
I'm so glad the First Amendment is free speech because people make up words and they want me to start using their lexicon. I feel so
Blows.
bad for the Canadians, man. That Bill C-16 and then I think other bills have been passed that is like forcing people to use certain words so they don't offend other people.
You ready for this?
you don't
hold
prefer
on.
e-inks?
Inks.
Not
I love
yet,
inks.
but you can
Okay.
change my
So
mind on
good.
that.
Ixon, thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. But if you want to check out the full show live, tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And if you want more special access content, head over to timcast.com and become a member. Your membership helps sustain this company, keep our journalists employed, makes this show happen, and you will get access to exclusive members-only segments of the Timcast IRL podcast, and there's a massive library to check out. So again, go to timcast.com or tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., and we'll see you all there.